All right, what's up, y'all? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good live stream for y'all today. Happy Martin Luther King Eve Day for those of you that know Martin Luther King. But I just wanted to put that out there just to say Martin Luther, or to wish a good happy Martin Luther King Day to all my fellow Black Americans. But yeah. I should be having Mr. Stephen Big Shot Shaw here. So if you guys want to come on and come to the panel, actually, I don't know. I think I'm gonna just keep it between me and him, and then for anybody that has questions, they could just come through and just ask them if they do come around. So I just want to make sure that I'm live. All right, here we go. So, all right, good. So I'm just currently waiting for Mr. Shaw, and yeah, you know, I was actually happy to get in touch with him, and obviously we had Mr. Aradije Obaro, right, or that's his name. I just call him Obaro. He's a very cool guy, very down to earth person, and I enjoy talking with him, and I really hope he makes it far. And same thing with Mr. Shaw. I think Mr. Shaw, he's a good fighter himself, and he's been not talked about lately here in the boxing world. I'll probably even say for the heavyweight division, Mr. Stephen Shaw, he is a developing dark horse heading into the heavyweight division. So yeah, hopefully I can get those questions answered to see where his career is currently at. And yeah, I can't wait. So I'm just waiting up on him. Hopefully we can get something put together soon. And yeah, I'll just chill out, chop it up, on some boxing. For those of you that don't know, I believe Shakur Stevenson and Mr. Oscar Valdez should possibly be fighting soon. I believe a deal has been made, if I'm not mistaken. These were just coming from multiple reports that Shakur and Oscar Valdez were set to fight on April 30th, that being the same day as my birthday. And I believe Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor should be fighting on that day too. And I found that pretty interesting. So yeah, I hope that fight does get made because at this point, I mean, like Shakur and Oscar Valdez, is a good fight to make, and I don't see how that fight cannot be made. So I'm really hoping that fight does become next, and same thing with Amanda Serrano and Miss Katie Taylor. So yeah, right now I'm just chilling right now. Um, I'm just waiting on Mr. Shaw. And yeah, it's just been a good, afternoon. Wasn't really able to really do anything. And I don't know, like, I was just doing some stuff throughout the day, and I just figured that I just get some interviews done on a Sunday, and then I should be going live with Art Man hopefully later on tonight. So I'm just waiting on Mr. Stephen Big Shot Shaw. I'm gonna see if he had got it. Hold on. Did you get it? Hold on. Does the link work? Yeah. No. Hey, what's up, Mo Boxing? How are you, my brother? Salute to Mo Boxing. Sorry. I haven't seen like your comment, but all right. Yep, I just got word from Stefan. He should be joining the panel very shortly. He said he's about to go in, so yeah, I'm just waiting for him to come through. All right. Okay, I'm about to go in now. All right. Yeah, salute to you, Mo. Salute to you. Everybody go subscribe to Mr. Mo Boxing. He's a beast. I like talking to Mo, the Somalian brother. All right, so hopefully, you should join pretty soon. Yeah, sorry. I think I should usually go live as soon as like the guest comes in, but I'm not so sure. So I usually just go live and then I warm up and then I you know usually have like people come in later, but it don't matter to me. I just wait. But yeah, last night was crazy, man. Those fights were wild. Um, I didn't really like the first fight. That first fight that Ukrainian dude fought the Flores guy. That fight was just an absolute just bum fight, honestly. Like, and actually, that Ukrainian dude was the same guy that fought Stephen Shaw, and I was actually kind of surprised why he was on the like while he was on the card, because to me that didn't make any sense why that Ukrainian dude fought that guy, on the card, and I thought, it actually would have made a lot better sense to have Mr. Shaw fight, on this card because it's at the Turning Stone and that's actually a good venue to get your name out there. But on top of that, that actually promotes like a better fight leading into the future because now that Shaw he's fighting on the January 29th card out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that actually makes it like a little bit of a a like how should I say? It should be more like a notable fight for him, but at that type of scenery, that just doesn't promote a fighter right. And I kind of feel like that's what Top Rank has been doing to a lot of these black fighters, including Bruce Carrington too, because Bruce Carrington he was supposed to fight that night, and on top of that, Mr. Kasir Goldson he was supposed to fight his opponent, Philip Carmuche. That was his opponent that he was supposed to fight, and yeah, I don't understand why that was, fizzled for the fight not to happen. But yeah, that was crazy, man. Hey, salute to you, Teach. I hope everything's well with you. And yeah, man. It's been a good, decent night of fights. I really wish that they had better names on there. I just didn't think like the card was a good, well put together card. The only good fighters that actually took over the show was Troy Isley, Abraham Supernova, and Mr. Omar Rosario, and that was pretty much it. Joe Smith Jr. against Gefford was just a absolute just dog wash. Like I just didn't like that fight, and a lot of people just basically told me, yeah, like I literally went to sleep, when the main event happened. So I don't know, man. It kind of just had a lot of weird vibe to it, and I thought Abraham Supernova, he basically took over the show. He, like like me being there versus like what was posted on TV. The crowd was cheering on for Abraham Nova, and I'm pretty sure when Joe Smith Jr. came on, that was just a whole different vibe. All right, we got Mr. Stephen Big Shot Shaw. He's currently in. I'm about to put him on right now. Hey, what's up, Stefan?
Hey, how you doing, bro? What's going on with you, man?
Not much. How's it?
Oh, snap. Hold on. Hey, what's up with you, my man? How you doing?
Yeah, salute to you. Salute to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, first of all, you should have been on the card last night because I went all the way out to Turning Stone Casino with my grandfather, and my grandfather said, "Why is this card so absolutely boring?" Because the type of fights that Top Rank be putting out are like guys that aren't even known. And I was just thinking inside like my head, like having you as like a third to last two fights on the card would have been better because the only good fights that were on the card was Omar Rosario, Troy Isley, and Abraham Supernova. That's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
yeah, and actually, me me, Omar, and Abraham, we both managed by the same management team. So we all
What?
been, yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
yep,
wow.
yep.
Yo, I knew something fishy was happening. Like, I was like, dude, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, we both signed with we all three of us is being managed by the same manager and stuff. So I'm gonna have my fight on ESPN in 2 weeks. So I'm twiddling thumbs and just can't wait, man.
Yo, okay, well, first of all, please explain to the audience who you are and how'd you get into boxing, and then yeah.
Okay, Stephen Shaw, Stephen Big Shot Shaw, born 92092, you know what I'm saying, 29 years old. I started boxing at the age of 9, you know what I'm saying. I actually started training around like the year of 1999, 2000, and I was like 7 and 8, and, had my first fight when I was 9. And then I won the national silver gloves when I was 10, won the ringside, won USA Nationals, won the National PAL Championships. I actually stopped boxing for 6 years, you know what I'm saying? And then I came back and just went on like a tear, man, like a 2-year span of being like ranked like either 1, 2, or 3, you know what I'm saying? And then my last year in amateur boxing, I won a USA National Championships and won a National PAL Championships. And the next day after winning the National PAL Championships, I met Kevin Cunningham, who was my trainer at the time. He met us over at the at Red Lobster and had a meal with us, and told me that Al Heyman wanted to sign me to a 5-year contract, and that's how I turned pro. With Al
What?
Heyman.
So wait, like, what happened with that contract?
Oh man, they released me out my contract, man.
What?
They released me out my contract when I was like,
Yo.
I was like 8-0, 5 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And they put me on the shelf. They put me on the shelf before then for a year, and then they had, it was just, I've been through so much, bro. Like, they released me on my contract because my dad, he was feeling the frustrations of everything. He was the one that was funding me coming out here to San Diego. Like now I train in San Diego. Kevin Cunningham, he was my trainer, and, he kind of just stopped working with me. He didn't really feel like he had to invest that much time in me like he was trying to invest his time into established pros like Devin Alexander and Saki Obika. And
Wow.
yeah, man. So my dad, he kind of like snapped and got ignorant and belligerent a little bit, because he was mad. He's like, my son is not making a fucking living wage. He's still living at home with me. And he has a wife and a son and another baby that's on the way. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
so he called, cussed motherfuckers out, and, and basically they released me out my contract, because of that. That was the they some it felt like they was looking for a reason, and then that just became like the final stamp, the final blow, like, oh yeah, let's get rid of them. We've been looking for something like this. So basically they got rid of me, man, and then I was on the shelf for a whole another year. And then I got signed with Split T Management, the management company that got Omar Rosario, Abraham Nova, Diego Pacheco, me,
Nestor
Teofimo
Brown.
Lopez, a whole bunch of other fighters.
Yeah.
Brian Sabello.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I
Brian
think all
Sabine.
of I think all those guys are still with Dave McWaters and stuff, like, and
Yeah.
Dave now, and I take my hat off to those guys. They definitely been behind the Stephen Shaw train. You know what I mean? He's been getting me strength and conditioning. He's been paying for my strength and conditioning training back home in St. Louis, Missouri, to help me like mold my body into what it's transformed into. And they pay for the room that I stay out here, and they fund my career like a true management should. And I take my hat off to them. And I appreciate those guys. And now we're trying to get this top rank deal finalized, and I'll be fighting in 2 weeks against a guy by the name of Don Hainsworth.
Yeah, I haven't heard about him, but
Yeah,
that's
he's like 16 and 8. He's fought Brian Jennings.
ooh,
He's fought a bunch of like, those kind of guys,
yeah,
up level guys, and he's like 16 and 8 with like 14 knockouts. But just to stay busy, fight, keep me busy, keep me in the ring, keep money in my pocket, and then now it'll be on ESPN and get that much national exposure that I truly need.
yeah, because like me personally, like I'm not really that, financially schooled, without the business of boxing. But now that, you kind of like show me about the dark side of boxing, that's absolutely unfortunate because I was literally thinking about how PBC and Top Rank be orchestrating these fights, and it's like, it kind of feels like a puppetry system of who they select and choose. And I'll just use a great example. I'll use Oscar Valdez. Nobody don't know who he is. Oscar Valdez has just been pushed, for quite some time, and nobody doesn't really go to it like to his fights. Versus like a guy like Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Crawford, and I'll use other fighters like Jamel Herring. Like those guys get very little promotion, but the people that support them are the black American dollar. So like to me, like I think like, people, within our own like, ethnic group, like we have to start supporting each other a lot larger because, compare that to any other sports like the NFL, the NBA, the MLB. You don't need to have a racial demographic to support that team. You
No,
just
you
need to
don't.
have, yeah, like you just need to have, pure advertisement and pure support to love
And
that
talent,
team.
and they just display talent,
Yeah,
and it just make the mass, like they show games from the worst team and to the best teams, and
yeah.
they all on the same even playing field. It's just a lot that goes in. It's a lot of bias that go in boxing. Like they can have an excuse. Oh, well, Jake Paul and Logan Paul has millions
I
of
was just about
followers.
to ask you
So
that.
now you're gonna start paying guys because they have following. Like, but true boxers have to keep fighting killer after killer just to make $1 million. Forget
Nah,
10 million.
screw that.
You know,
Look, if you could sit on the bench, like, for at least a couple million in the NBA or the NFL, then why can't you fight like a bum and just keep it moving? Because it's like, if you think about it, if you're like a world champion and you could just, pick and choose whoever that you want to fight, then you could just walk around and say, oh, well, I'm still fighting the best, but the best that's available, that's like the worst competition.
exactly. It's just, hey man, it's boxing, and this the sport that I've grew to love, and always had a foundation in. My grandfather, he's a legendary coach back home. My father, you know, my father, he's in the St. Louis Box Hall of Fame. My coach, Bashir Abdullah, he's in the St. Louis Box Hall of Fame. He coached Andre Ward. He cornered Andre Ward. He was the head coach of the 2004 Olympic Games. So he coached Andre Ward to his gold medal. And so it's just like, man, it's definitely like what is it? You know what I mean? Like other guys from other countries, they can have their country behind them and then come over to our country and become global stars. And where black fighters, you know, as great as Terrence Crawford is, you still got people saying that he doesn't deserve the money he's asking for.
No, he does. Like it's just that, Top Rank and the political, corruption has, definitely screwed him over. And I've been,
And it's
yeah,
crazy. Now he's trying to go over with PBC and trying to get a fight with, and now they saying that the money isn't there because he hasn't been marketed right due to this last so he can't get what he deserves, all because previous marketability. But the guy that he's trying to fight, he's punished the mutual opponents in devastating more fashion. Like, isn't the money's there? How isn't the money there? But the money is there for exhibition fights.
yeah, yeah,
The
that,
money is there for novelty boxing. instead of the real pound for pound top 2 guy in the game. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I thought the sport was called the best fight the best, not the worst fight the worst.
You know what I mean? Or let YouTubers come and take boxing to a whole, like, let YouTubers come and fight and sell out and fight on pay-per-view. Like, you have to get to a certain, you have to, like, it's crazy. Like, if you already, like if you just happen to have already 1 million followers, but how many true boxers that's like pursuing boxing have a platform to where they have 1 million followers without them being champion? Like Jake Paul and all those guys, Jake Paul and Logan, they can sell a rich lifestyle to get everybody involved into what they're doing because they are already rich. And people want to see the lifestyles of the rich and famous. You know what I mean? And that right there and doing all the kind of stuff that they doing, and then get into boxing and saying that, well, we can pay these guys that much money because look at their following. But again, guys that's undefeated 38-0 with 30 knockouts can't even get 10 million, or like, it's crazy.
Yeah, this is why like I really wish boxing was like a little bit more marketized in a centralized manner, because like, you know,
more regulated and
yeah, more regulated, but you know, similar to like the NBA where, you know, like, you know, it's like a universalized system where like, you know, like theoretically, if you're winning and you're beating all the best guys, you should be getting, you know, multiple paydays and, you know, bonuses and, you know, promotional sponsorships and all these deals that all these other athletes get, because it makes no sense why, you know, a guy like Lomachenko, I'll use him, you know, he lost his first title shot in his second fight, and then he gets another title shot, which was broken by the WBO's rules that you cannot fight for another world title coming off of a loss. So therefore, Lomachenko got.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That actually happened when he fought Gary Russell. He got basically political protectionism through the WBO, because Bob Arum basically works with the WBO to have certain fights made. So basically, the WBO vacancy was there at featherweight, I believe, and Gary Russell fought Lomachenko for that vacancy title after he lost to Orlando Salido, which then got vacated because Salido, he came in overweight, and Gary Russell, you know, he was next in line to fight for that belt, and Lomachenko, he just magically just, you know, comes right back. So, you know, by that logic, that basically means a Jake Paul could fight Canelo Alvarez, you know, in his next fight, knowing that he didn't fight, like, you know, any, you know, certified fighters, you know, leading up to that point.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But I actually find it very surprising that you tell me all this, because when I first heard about you, I believe I saw you fight on the PBC, and I was like, yo, this guy's like really, really good. And just out of nowhere, you were like never to be seen. And I was like, wait, what? PBC only has like at least like 2, 3 fights, if I'm not mistaken, of you fighting.
No, they only got one fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what made me question that type of, you know, system that they've been running, because you know, I want to just say, you know, there's just certain like political ties that fighters have with certain promotional businesses to try to, you know, freeze out other fighters and try to, you know, gas up all these fighters that don't even deserve to be promoted. And it's like, you know, like to me, that's unfair marketing and that's unfair promotion for the right fighters that should be promoted versus the ones that don't deserve to be promoted.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Hold on. That's so real, man.
Yeah.
My bad. But man, that's so real what you just said, man. Like, that's exactly what I've been dealing with. It's like, I know I got the goods. Like, there's no way that only fought on PBC at that time, that one time, man. It's like, I definitely feel like I'm blacklisted, you know what I mean, sometimes, but, you know, I still love this sport. He said to be getting knocked out all the time. Big Shot should be there. That's real, man. That's so real. I mean, like, man, like I've been staying down till I come up, man. You know, I got a 9-year-old. My oldest son is about to be 9, and my youngest son is about to be 5. I turned pro when I was 21 years old, and I'm 29 years old, and I still haven't fought for $20,000 yet. Just like my bank account only has about $200 in it, man.
Man, I feel so bad, bro. Like, I really do. Like, like I don't want to sound like that I'm being biased. It's like, I want to probably say that I'm pretty much like the biggest advocate to support boxing because, like my favorite sport, all time was basketball. But then boxing was like number 2 because, I grew up, watching guys like Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock, Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, Floyd Patterson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson,
those great legends.
Yeah. So it's like, ever since I started getting into like, commentating on boxing, I really actually do have mad love for the fighters that actually do put their lives on the line to be great, like yourself. And I really want to try to help out as much as I can to expose all the evil corruption and try to see, like what can be done because it's like, if we let these promoters and all these evil sanction body, like, puppet men take over the sport and just keep corrupting it, I don't see how boxing, ever lives.
Will survive. Yeah.
Because it's like all that corruption that's converted to another sport, people would just be burning that sport away. So I just don't see how the sport of boxing gets away with it because it's like, there's blood on people's hands and it's like people don't even see it except for us.
And they don't truly care, man. Long as the dollar's there, and they're not giving the fighters 100% of it, long as they're giving them a percentage of it, you know what I mean? And then they want to take a percentage of that, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. It's very, very strange. It's almost like the music industry and how they used to be. Like now, it's like with this music industry now, guys truly can make money, like, but like, when it's like we can't, like our show, like we have to fight. We have to literally put our lives on the line and fight. And they definitely don't. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. But I still love boxing like I did when I was a little bitty boy, man. I still got the desire and the hunger, if not even more, because I say, I have responsibilities now. I have a wife. I have 2 sons, and it's bigger than me now, bro. And I do it for them. You know what I'm saying? I can't give up now. I can't waver. I can't worry. All I can do is just keep trying to become the best me. And that's all I've been trying to do, man. When I first turned pro, I was 270 pounds, man. I just got off the scale. I just ran the mountains and stuff. I'm 230 pounds, man. You know what I'm saying? So I've been really grinding. I ain't been bullshitting. Like I've been grinding. The only times where when I was big, you know what I mean? Like I always been big. I was in the amateurs 265 pounds and 260, like that was, and then I was just coming back. Like I stopped boxing for 6 years, man. I was in college. I was a sophomore in college, and I just wanted to keep boxing. I wanted to box. Well, I actually came back to boxing at the end of my freshman year in college. And then I started going to tournaments and stuff and winning shit. And well, actually that first year I didn't win anything. I was just fighting and going to tournaments and placing, and then they invited me to go to the Olympic Games and train with the Olympic team. And, I was sparring Dominic Brazil and I sparred with Michael Hunter. Ooh. And, and after that, that's when I started winning everything. I had that experience. I fought Charles Martin. I dropped Charles Martin twice, and they still gave him the fight in the National Pal Finals.
What?
Yeah, and then I turned around. Then I turned around and won the USA Nationals. I knocked out everybody except in the semis. I'm like, I'm not leaving this stuff in the judges' hands. And in the finals, I knocked out the guy with a right hand, and like he went into a convulsion, like standing up, like he just like he like went into like a exactly was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
You decapitated them.
Yeah, and then I went to the National PAL in 2013 and won that, knocked out everybody except the guy in the semifinals in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been crazy.
Yeah, because I used to wrestle in high school, and I went up against this guy that was like a 2-time like national, journeyman champion, and he was good, but in wrestling, like styles do like do make fights, and when I fought him and actually got to know how he was, I was beating him up and I was like dominating him, but but the referees still try to like politicize, certain rules up against me to say, hey, don't do that, don't do this, and don't do that. And he was basically just protecting this guy from any unfair penalties.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I kind of see that same similarity, with wrestling converted to boxing, because it's like, if people say that they want to see pure boxing, then you go out there and box. But if people don't give a crap about that and they just want to see guys just beat each other up and just be dirty, then that's where you get assholes like Tyson Fury that just come in and try to tamper something and try to hurt you and try to do some crazy evil shit to keep on doing it until.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just been so much crazy. Like, they've been saying that, like, it's been shit in his glove. Like, it's just been so much, man. That's because it's so much other shit with boxing. It's like, after a while, you'd be like, man, you can't trust it. But it's like, man, I'm just trying to do what I got to do to feed my family and get us out of poverty, dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I really hope that things do get better for you. I'll try to do my best to support if you need anything.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Yeah. I definitely appreciate you giving me your platform letting me speak my piece and give me, you know what I'm saying, to your platform, bro. And I believe it's starting January 29th, man. I pray about it all the time. You know what I mean? I get on my hands and knees and give it up to the big man upstairs, give it up to God, because that's all I can rely on now, bro. Man can fail you, but I'm relying on God's will. I'm relying on God. I'm trusting God, and it's hard. But if I didn't know God, it'll be detrimental. You get what I'm saying? Like what I've been through, if I didn't have a conviction with God, bro, man, I could be on Skid Row somewhere, man. Cause that's all it is. That's all what happened to those people on Skid Row. That's what all happened to all these, people that be homeless and losing their mind. They lost their way. They conviction with God and reality fucked them up. Reality fucked them up, and they didn't stand on God. Because once we truly look at the reality of this world is messed up a little bit, man. And that's from politics. That's all the way down to, babies getting murdered. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I hate statism every single day. But I also wanted to ask a couple of questions in regards to, number one, the Jermaine Franklin fight. What happened with that? And number two, can you please knock out and take out Daniel Dubois or Jared Big Baby Anderson?
Oh man, I love the fight. I feel like that fight with Jared Anderson, like I feel like that can be built to a great fight. Yeah. Because they're trying to make him out of something, and I know what I possess, and I feel like that fight can be like a big fight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that fight. You know what I'm saying? And I love to fight Daniel Dubois. I love to fight all them guys. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'll fight whoever. You know what I mean? I'm at the bottom. So whatever I can do to get to the top, God damn it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? the fight with Jermaine Franklin would have been a fight that really put me on a pedestal, put me on a certain type of level where I should be, or at least closer to my ultimate goal of being world champion. And that fight with Jermaine Franklin, he pulled out because he supposedly had caught COVID 4 days before the fight. I arrived in New Jersey. You know, I trained in San Diego, where I'm at now, getting ready for my fight. I trained in San Diego, flew all the way to New Jersey. That was the airport that we went to drive to West Point up in New York.
Yep, up in New York.
So I get off the plane. My manager hits me. You're not going to believe this shit. Jermaine Franklin caught COVID. What? What the fuck? I took my test 2 weeks before. How? Bro, you can take a COVID test right now and get your results back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, because you could get the rapid testing. So, yeah, that kind of sounds like a duck. I don't see how he can just catch COVID 4 days. Like, because if you got tested 2 weeks before, shouldn't he have gotten tested 2 weeks before? So,
shouldn't we have learned about this if he truly caught COVID way before the day we arrived, before the flights take off and shit?
Yeah.
Hey, it's been mind-boggling, man. It's been mind-boggling. But hey, I'm still here, and they can't stop me. What I'm displaying now is something that you can't teach. You know, this is mental fortitude. This is perseverance. This is patience. This is believing in the higher being. And, you know, with that, can't none of them boys stop me. You know, Jared Anderson, Dubois, whoever, Tony Yoka, they can, you know, Fury, Joshua, Andrew Ruiz, I love to fight Fury, like all those kind of out of our land. Those are like the fights, you know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever, man. I'm just ready to fight, but it should be starting January 29th. I'm fighting a guy by the name of Don Hainsworth. And then after that, they're talking about a fight with Guido Vianello.
Oh, yeah, that's easy money. You'll beat the shit out of him. Bro, he's not good. He's not good, dude. I'm just keeping it real, man.
Hey, and that's what I'm saying. Those guys can get signed with Top Rank. They can overlook me, and all those guys come to America and get signed. I've been in the professional boxing rank since 2013, and all those guys get signed and overlooked. I get overlooked, but hey, man, what can I do?
See, now the biggest fights that I think you could easily dominate. Well, I probably say this probably might be trying to stretch it, but I could easily see you giving hell to Frank Sanchez, F.A., Ajagba, and who's that other guy? Maybe Robert Helenius, right?
I beat the fuck out of Helene. I sparred Frank Sanchez. I sparred Sanchez for the Jermaine Franklin fight.
What?
Yeah, I went to they kicked me out. I
went to Canelo's gym?
Yeah, we that's where we work. Canelo.
Oh,
yeah, ooh. Canelo, like, oh, he's good. He's good.
Yo, he's good.
Like, we worked 6 rounds. We worked 6 rounds the first time, and then we worked 8 rounds the next day. And so we did like a total of 14 rounds that week. You know what I'm saying? And I like, hey. And then like I sparred Andy Ruiz, getting him ready for the second Joshua fight.
That's good.
And they kicked me out of camp after 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
You know, Deontay Wilder. I sparred Deontay Wilder. I've been going down there with Deontay since 2017, since when he fought Gerald Washington.
Gerald Washington. Yeah. I was gonna ask you like about Deontay Wilder. Do you still keep in contact with him, and how has it been training with him? You know,
I don't have any personal relationship with Deontay. Like, he don't even follow me on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, but all his closest friends and, you know, Malik Scott and all those guys, they follow me, and, you know, they follow me, but he doesn't follow me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But me and Deontay, man, it's been some pay-per-view worthy work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I've clipped Deontay and wobbled him a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, oh man.
But
Woo.
that's the gym. You know what happens in the gym, stay in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it is what it is. You know that definitely happened. You know what I'm saying? And all of those guys was down there. You know what I mean? And they saluted me. You know, it ain't no fluke. Like, you ain't got a lot of me. You know, keep it real with me. But they definitely, Malik Scott. You know, he definitely one of my favorite young lions. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Malik Scott, out of that clique, like he promotes me. He says he gives it to people. People ask him all the time, who do you think out of the up and coming young heavyweights? I like Joe Joyce and Big Shot Shaw. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you would knock out Joe Joyce's British ass out.
And I'm too, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I got skills, bro. I'm not just some one track pony that's just going to fight one way. Like, I really got skills, but that's what also make me think, like, that's why I haven't had a lot of those opportunities, because I'm not just some bum or some stiff. Like, I can box and I can punch. Like, I'm not just some light-handed fast boxer. I can crack you. You know what I'm saying? And then I could, like, southpaw, orthodox, however you want it, for real, for real.
Yeah,
Like,
you're switch hitter. Yeah, switch hitter. Yeah, because my greatest comparison that I put you next to would be like a mix of Riddick Bowe with a James Tillis. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a good comparison, but I just think like how you.
I'll take it. I've definitely been compared to Riddick Bowe. I've been compared to Larry Holmes, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Whatever. To be even mentioned with those greats, man. I looked up to Riddick Bowe. I love Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I love all those guys. You know what I'm saying?
I really wish he fought Lennox back in the day.
Yeah, that would have been a great fight.
That would have been like a trilogy set fight, hands down. After like after that, leading into Holyfield, great fights.
Yeah, man. So, hopefully I have a historical great trilogy with one of these great fighters around, because I feel like it's a new era of heavyweights that's about to embark. It's about to be a whole new shuffle, I feel. And hopefully like I said, hopefully my time comes, and I feel like it's coming. It's definitely gonna come. And I just stay humble and keep grinding, keep going hard, and to make myself, the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, most definitely. I think as far as what you've been telling me of like how they're gonna move you, that's pretty much like a one-way ticket, to where you need to be. And I just find it really disrespectful how like no major platforms even talk about at least at the top 100, fighters, especially in the heavyweight division. They just go off of bias, picks off of fighters that are not even that good. Like,
I don't even get mentioned.
Yeah, they just basically just pretend like it's like the Klitschko era, like white heavyweight fighters dominate black American heavyweights, and it's not even true.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. The final thing that I want to bring up with you is as far as like your legacy goes and what you have planned after boxing. Like, what do you want to set in stone for the people that look up to you for the next coming generation?
I just want them to be motivated by my story, that they can just make it through anything. Look at what Big Shot has been through. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that motivation. Like, wow, Big Shot, he made it through all that. You know what I'm saying? And he became a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be, and just to have people come up to me like, man, I enjoyed your fight, man. You was the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then have a couple of million in my bank account as well to, be my children's bank and be my children's reliable source. You know what I'm saying? For anything that they want to embark on, and, at least have that. I got to have that too, because I don't want to be no broke fighter, shaking and crippled and can't talk proudly, and everybody coming up to me shaking my hand, because that's not cool. That's not cool at all. But I would definitely like just to have people salute me on, like, man, I enjoyed you fighting. Like, to hear you say, man, I salute you and you a good fighter, and I see you, and they should be. I appreciate that. That's gonna make me grind so goddamn hard next week, man. Just to hear people like you that I never met before, just to salute me on what I'm doing, man. Man, I love it, and I appreciate you, brother. Like, real talk, like that mean the world to me. That's what I do this for, And again, like, to take care of my children, man, and that's it. Take care of my family, take care of my wife and my children, my mother and father. Like, us as black people, man, we don't have silver spoons in our mouths, man.
Yeah, like a huge majority.
Yeah, man, and like, I just and I want to be on the other side. I want to be behind the scenes, or commentating. You know what I mean? I feel like I can really expand my boxing knowledge, and as a commentator, as a color commentator, and I feel like I'll be perfect. You know what I mean? Because I truly know the sport, and I can articulate myself and really talk good.
Yeah, you would be like basically be like Lennox Lewis, be like, oh well, like this guy did good, but him getting punched just like that, he just got wobbled and then boom.
Yeah, exactly. And I look up to a guy like Lennox Lewis, like, you know what I'm saying? Lennox Lewis, he didn't really get his just due until he was in his late 20s, early 30s. You know what I'm saying? And he also a Virgo like I am, and he beat everybody he fought. You know what I mean? I love and respect Lennox. Like, my grandfather introduced me to Emmanuel Stewart, and he told Emmanuel Stewart like, my grandfather and Emmanuel Stewart was like this. Like, my grandfather like mentor Mike Stafford, Kenny Porter,
wow.
Yeah, all Kevin Cunningham. Like, my granddaddy is their OG.
Wow, salute to your grandfather, man.
Yeah, man. So it's like, I'm like back home in St. Louis, like the Shaws and the Spinxes, like those are synonymous names those are names that are synonymous with boxing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're like the Mayweathers, like, and I'm like Floyd. I'm the one that took everything and they put it all into me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather, he's trained Fernando Vargas, Malik Scott, Andre Berto,
wow.
All those guys, like, in the amateurs. My grandfather was a legendary amateur coach, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so that's where that pedigree comes from. You know what I mean? Like, that foundation.
Yeah. That's so cool because, like, I never really get into that type of stuff, but it's kind of like a little web, social media connection of just all of us knowing one person, and then it just turns into like a huge tree.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, Adrian, I've been seeing Adrian and Rasheed Warren and Ricardo Williams and all those guys been coming down to St. Louis since they were like 10 and 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah. The last question that I wanted to ask is, like, for the near future for boxing, do you see the sport, like, ever trying to evolve away from the, I guess, like the sanction bodies, trying to, like, I guess, like, monopolize a lot of like the matchmakings for fighters, trying to get title shot opportunities? And how would you view the sport of boxing in your own perfect world of like what you want to see better for the sport to change?
I would definitely, to answer your first question, bro, I definitely feel like boxing has to be saved by one, like, an organization. Everybody has to be on one accord, and that's very, very hard in this sport that's been unregulated. Like, the only thing that's really been like boxing, the only thing that's been regulating basically boxing is the government.
Yeah.
Like, but other than that, there's no like true like entity. Like, there's no league You know what I mean? And then if you do that, it'll put a cap on what a fighter can make. So you probably won't have a guy making $40 million a fight, but you might have guys, it'll probably be more like a UFC. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, bonuses, incentives, and to answer your second question, bonuses and incentives will be huge in boxing.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that the sanctioning bodies are going to go anywhere because they're making too much money in boxing. But as many titles that they have, I think that should leave. They should just have
one belt.
One or it was 2 belts. You know why?
1 versus 2 equals 1v1. I fight you, you fight me. Let's get it.
At one point in time, that's all it went. That's all it was. It was, or at one point in time, it was just a WBA. Then the WBC came in like 1963. You know what I'm saying? And then those were the only 2 world titles. It wasn't until the 80s that third title came, and it was the IBF.
WBO.
You know what I'm saying? The IBF. And then like 1988, WBO really got involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But up until then, and then WBO was looked at like
just a
like the IBO or something. Or the IBA or something like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
IBC.
You're right, IBC. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until Oscar De La Hoya fought Bernard Hopkins and they put all 4 titles on the line that really the WBO became like a truly like major world title. You know what I'm saying? Because but like I said, like 2 belts, because why? It's 2 combatants. It's 2 fighters. Yeah, you can have 1 title. And I can have 1 title. That's what made Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fight so great. September 16, 1981. Tommy Hearns was the WBA champion. Ray Leonard was the WBC champion. And we see who the best of them all. Both the 2 world champions fight. Just 2 belts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, do you believe that champions should force themselves to be mandatories to force unification, so that way belts shouldn't have to be held up by like a guy like Canelo Alvarez or Vasil Lomachenko?
And that's because it's so many world championships, and one guy could be a big star and another guy cannot be a big star, or he won that belt by a fluke from a vacated belt and they let him get it, and just to orchestrate the big fighter to have all these titles and create history and do all this and that, like that has to cease. That's where, again, with the 2 belts, because to become champion, you got to beat either this guy or this guy, period. And in order to, and then the unification title, the unification fights is the fight that creates the big bucks. So I don't understand why fighters don't want to unify. I would love if I like, let's give me all those belts, because that's more money, man. Like that's what Floyd Mayweather showed me. The more great fighters you beat, the more money you make.
Yeah, on top of that, I truly believe, like, for the sanction bodies to be taken away, because on top of that, you should keep 100% of your earnings, minus having a promoter trying to take that money, because if you're having to pay sanction fees as a contender leading up to a champion, then what's the point of actually having them on top of having a promoter and management, which I purely believe that should just be marketized through some form of like a marketized league type fighting agency. Yep. So that way you can keep 100% of your proceeds coming to you, on top of getting advertisement, sponsorships, deals, with certain companies and whatsoever.
Facts, man. Yeah, that's facts, bro. No, for real. That's exactly what needs to happen, man. For real. That's why the one champion, because the sanctioning bodies, they're trying to take all of, like, not all of it, but you got to break this down, bro. The average, a good manager only takes 15%. Now, a shitty manager, he can get over on some guys and get 30. Like, they used to do that. You still got some managers that's probably getting 30% from fighting. But the best managers, they're only taking a fee of 15%.
Yeah.
And that's a nice amount for real. When you got to think about paying your trainer 10%. So that's 25% gone. Just for then Uncle Sam, man.
I'd rather keep at least 100. Fuck that shit. I don't want to give no money to nobody.
But man, you know, we live in a society where water's free, but they make us pay for it.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Life ain't fair, but you gotta rely on God, because God is the only person that he's not the only person, but he's the only that'll make it right. For real.
Yeah, most definitely.
For real.
But yeah, I believe that's about it. Is there any last words that you gotta say for the audience?
Man, tune in January 29th, man. I'm going out there ready to seek and destroy, man, and just go out there and have fun, man, and just do my thing. And can't wait to see my wife and my children and my parents, man. I just can't wait to do my thing, reign supreme and be a king.
I can't wait for that.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much, and I hope to do this again in the future. And I'm
Most
definitely going to do my best to try to help you out. So
thank you, K-Rod. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, thank you. I'll see you
later. Yes, sir, bro.
All right, thank you guys for watching. This is Krod7435. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, and I'm out. Be sure to tune in January 29th for Mr. Stephen Big Shot Shaw on a good undercard for the Xavier Martinez versus Robson Conceição fight. But yeah, that'll be out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, for anybody that can go out there. But if not, tune it on TV, ESPN, or ESPN Plus. It's going to be a massive war. So thank you very much, Mr. Big Shot Shaw, and I appreciate y'all. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later, and adios. Bye.